Hey guys, happy Friday. So they started training me on the floor to set up the donor machines, meaning I put the bowl into the configuration spinner thing and the centrifuge, that's what it's called. I put it in there, and then I set up the harness to administer the saline to the patient and the anticoagulant, and I also basically just prime the machine to get it ready for somebody who is about to donate. So I started doing that training yesterday and today, and basically I have my competency next week to get signed off on it so that I can do it without someone watching me. But so I started this job like 3 weeks ago, and everything's been going great. Like, I really love the job. I'm learning everything that I need to be learning. I'm picking up on things, and I like all of my coworkers, blah, blah, blah. So I started 3 weeks ago, and yesterday I got called into the office with the manager, and they said that payroll had contacted her, and I had filled out my tax information wrong. And mind you, today was payday. So yesterday I was kind of confused and a little bothered by the fact that I filled out my tax paperwork and my direct deposit paperwork 3 weeks ago. That way it would all be set up. And so I fixed my tax paperwork, and she sent it off to payroll, and they didn't call her back or anything and say it was still wrong, blah, blah, blah. So today I got on the computer to see if the pay stub was on the computer, because they said my first check is going to be mail, like paper, and I have to go up there to pick it up. So I got in the system, and I was looking, and I was like, wow, that's a nice chunk of change. And someone that works with me saw it, and they were like, wow, you're getting a decent first paycheck. And I was like, I know, I'm excited. I'm going to be able to pay bills. I'll have some money left over. And tonight, towards the end of the night, I was getting back on there. I don't know what I was getting back on there for. I guess to look at the amount again and kind of calculate things or something. But the other girl I work with was like, hey, let me show you how to get to, like, how many hours you have in your PTO, which is personal time off, and, your personal hours and all that. So she scrolled down and saw the amount that me and my friend earlier saw, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm getting paid. And she was like, no, your net pay says 0. And I was like, excuse me? And she was like, you're not getting paid anything unless, it hasn't updated. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, no. I have 75 hours on this paycheck. I need this paycheck. My rent is already past due. The battery in my car is about to take a shit, and I'm going to be stranded. And I already had, my mom works for an auto shop, so I had her pull a battery that would fit my car, and it's like $80. And I was like, hey, I get paid this weekend. I'll be able to buy it, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, well, let me go get the manager to see if this is right. So the manager comes in, and he's like, oh, there's no stressing. You don't need to stress. I was like, okay, that's easy for you to say because you're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. This is my 3rd week without pay. Like, I am negative in my bank account because so many of my bills have already been taken out and I'm overdrafted, okay? Because when I started, it was a pay week for this new company that I'm with. So he's like telling me not to stress, and if it's not going to work out, if it says nothing, that they'll contact payroll and they'll get it straightened out. Okay, but my issue is I don't want y'all contacting payroll and I have to wait another 4 or 5 days for them to mail a check. When I call up there tomorrow, and if my check isn't there and I can't physically see it and look at the hours and see that I have an amount, I told them that I am not going to show up to work because I am not going to work for free. I want my money for the last 2.5, 3 weeks, because technically most of this week, and I think some of last week, is going on my next pay period or whatever. But regardless, if I do not get my pay, I am not coming to work. And I straight up told them that. So tomorrow, when I wake up, they said to call around like 10 o'clock and see if the mail had come. And if it has, I can come in and pick it up. But I need to pick it up because the banks close early on Saturdays. And I'm just really stressed out right now because I thought it's always stressful starting a new job because you're training and you're learning new people, you're learning new you're learning new skills, you're learning new ways that they work and new protocols and all kinds of stuff. So to have this thrown into the mix, because the pay was something I was really excited about, to have this thrown into the mix, like, I can't even describe to you how upsetting I am, how upset I am, how upsetting this is, how overwhelmed I feel right now, because I was excited to, like, pay my rent, have some money left over, and buy groceries and start sending money off to people that I owe money to. And yeah, that didn't happen today, and I'm really upset about it. Like, and the girl that I work with that went and got the manager for me, she's like, you are being a lot more calm than I ever would be. She's like, I would be like flying on a broom right now. And I was like, I mean, I'm trying to keep my job. I don't want them to think that I'm like this heinous person when I start cussing like a sailor, but I was pretty pissed off. And I mean, I am pissed off. Like, I've worked so hard to learn what I've learned this far, and like, I try to help everybody out when I'm there at work, and like, everybody got paid today, everybody's happy, and me, right before I'm leaving, I'm pissed off. And when I come up in there on Tuesday, you know, I'm not going to be happy if I don't have my money. You know, that's part of the reason people work, is to pay their bills and have money. And when I've busted my butt this far to try and learn all this new stuff and, you know, try to get the hang of things and really help out, and then I don't get paid for my time, like, that really upsets me. And yesterday, I was supposed to go in at 12, but I ended up going in around 10 because I had to fill out the new paperwork. And I couldn't even clock in until 12 because those were my hours, 12 to 7:30. So I couldn't clock in when I got there to fill out this paperwork, even though I was there. And I just, like, I think I'm more upset at the fact that it took their payroll people, their human resources people, like 3 weeks to catch my mistake on my tax form, which I don't know how I, like, made a mistake, because it was a pretty easy form and I made sure it was filled out properly. But, like, it took them 3 weeks to find that mistake, and then they waited until the day of payroll going in to tell my bosses that there was a mistake and I need to come in ASAP to fix it or I won't get paid. Regardless, I'm getting paid, and I will not show up to work until I get paid, because my bills aren't going to pay themselves. Like, there's no point for me to be working for free. Nobody works for free. Like, this isn't charity work. This is my job. This is my career. And I'm more upset at the fact that it took them this long. First of all, it took them 3 weeks to find my mistake. Second of all, they waited till the day of payroll going in to call my managers and tell them, hey, she messed up, can you have her come in? 3, I'm upset at the fact that they're telling me my check might not even come tomorrow, it might be Monday. So are y'all going to compensate me on Monday when I drive from my home all the way to my job just to pick up a check that might not even have any money on it? Like, that is where my problems lie. Like, I can't. And then the other issue I have is everybody's telling me it's going to be okay and don't stress. Okay, you can't tell, first of all, you can't tell someone who's already in debt and their rent is late and their car is about to die because the battery is about to take a shit that everything's going to be okay and not to stress. That's false reassurance. Every nurse knows that. You can't say that to someone, especially a patient. So stop yourself. Second, y'all are getting paid. So of course it's easy for you to say, oh, Amberly, don't worry, your paycheck will be fine. No, it won't be fine. If it's not in the system and my net pay is 0, and if I open that envelope tomorrow or Monday, whenever I get the damn thing, and there is nothing, I am going to fly off the handle. Like, I'm going to flip, and I refuse to work until I get my money, period. You cannot do that. My mom is an office manager. She does accounts payable, receivable, whatever, for the auto shop she works for, and I told her the situation, and she was like, that's BS. She's like, when we hire new people, I fill out their paperwork, and she told me I should have already been enrolled in, like, direct deposit anyways because it's been 3 weeks. But because they waited so long, I'm not on direct deposit, and they're going to give me a paper check. So like, I'm so stressed out right now. I'm just so stressed out. Starting a new job is always stressful, and then to throw something like this in, it's like, really, like, this is what I left my other job for. Like, I just can't. I can't. And, like, I went to my dad's to vent about the situation, and he told me the same thing. He's like, that's BS. They have to pay you. I'm like, I know they have to pay me, and, like, people make mistakes, but, excuse me, I feel like when you mess with somebody's money, that really upsets them, especially when they are young, hard-working people like me who are trying to live on their own and make ends meet and whatever, and pay off debt and pay off school loans, whatever you may feel like trying to do. Like, I work hard and I like the job, and then this happened, and, like, my mood changed from, ooh, I'm getting off and it was a good week and I have a 3-day week and I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, to what? WTF? Like, where's my money? Why isn't it in there? Who messed this up? Who do I call? And my mom even told me, like, if you, because I don't know payroll language, I don't know how it, like, legitimately works. You know, obviously I'm the worker, I just get my paycheck and check my hours, but, like, my mom knows how it works. So she was like, if you need me to call their human resources and payroll people, just give me the number and I will. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was like, yeah, Mom, but I'm like 25 years old. I don't need you to help me. But at the same time, I kind of do, because she knows what she's talking about. I don't. Like, I can call and fly off the handle and run my mouth and not know a single word of what I'm saying. And then my mom will know all the jargon and, like, all the big words and stuff that they use. So hopefully this works out. I just wanted to update you guys and let you know that, like, work has been going great up until today, and I'm pretty pissed because I was really looking forward to my first paycheck to pay my rent, because I know that I'm so far behind on my rent this month, and I'm never late. But like, this is a big mistake. You do not mess with someone's money, period. And the fact that it took them 3 weeks to catch my mistake is what makes me so upset. Like, I get it, you have other paperwork and you have all this other stuff, but all of your other staff is direct deposit. So if you're, like, going through the list and adding up their hours and getting their checks ready to go into their bank account or whatever it does, like, the day I submitted my paperwork, they should have looked at it and said, oh, she messed up. Boom, fix this, that way we can enroll you into direct deposit so that you don't have to wait for a paper check and the money will just be there. But of course that didn't happen, so now I'm screwed. But other than that, like, I love working on the machines, I love setting them up, I take plasma to the processing window, and, like, I legitimately love my job. I do physicals, like, all day long, and I love doing the physicals, I love meeting the donors. I'm starting to kind of get to know some of the regulars, that's what I call them, that come on a daily basis and donate, and I'm starting to remember them for certain things. Like, some of them have really good personalities, some of them are really quiet, some of them don't like to talk at all. So I'm getting to know the facility more, and I'm getting to know my coworkers more, which is always great. But this pay period thing has got to stop. Like, I'm not happy. This is not what I wanted for my 3-day weekend, and I'm pissed. And I hope you guys have a way better weekend than I'm going to, because I'm pretty much just going to worry, like, all weekend about my pay, because I don't want to have to wait for another check. But I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and if you work, have good days at work, and I will update you guys probably tomorrow or come Sunday or Monday whenever I go pick up my check and let you guys know what happened.